Hello students, this is Taranum Jahan. Hope everyone are fine over there. So let's start with a new chapter from history. Class 8 NCERT History Chapter 1 How, When and Where. So here are the key points that has to be discussed by us. The first is introduction, then the meaning, caste system, then character, name, James Renner. Then the East India Company, history is referred to as a span of time, criteria to select a set of dates, Warren Hastings criteria to periodize, prior to British rule, classification of Indian history, time notation, change of modern period to colonial, sources of writing history, and what official records do not tell us. How, when, and where. Here we are going to study to know how things were in the past, how things have changed, gap between before and after. In this lesson, we will learn how did it happen, any events or anything, because history is not just studying the past events, it is much more than memorizing the dates. We should know that where, how the things have happened, when did it happen, where did it happen, the events, the places, the names of the person, everything. Then we say that yes, we know the history of so and so, isn't it? So how we get to know this? How the history calculate the dates? How they got to know that? How did it happen? When did it happen? And where did it happen? From where they got to know that we are studying those things. So in this chapter we are going to study that how historians know about this. So before starting up the chapter, we should know the meaning of history. What is history? History in a real sense, isn't it? His stories. So history is about changes that occurs over a time. That is finding how things were in the past and how things have changed. So in a history, how important are dates? Are only the dates so important? But yes, previously we always used to study only the dates. Like we only used to study about when did the king took birth, when he was crowned as a king, when he had fought the battles, how many places he have conquered, when did he died, when did the next king came into the power. Only these things we used to study in history, isn't it? Just knowing the dates. Finished. But now the history has looked more towards why, how things have happened and not when things have happened. They are going more deeper into it in order to know why these things took place rather than just knowing when these things took place. As we have already discussed that history is now going more deeper and deeper. It is not at all concerned only with the dates now, when the things have happened. Now it is going more deeper in order to know that why the things have happened. So in order to know this, why the things have happened, the history has to periodize. That means that it has to be divided into sections in order to know. So this was first done by James Mill in 1817. He was a Scottish Britisher and he was also a political philosopher. He, in his book, written about the division of the Indian history. What was the book name? A History of British India. He divided Indian history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. He himself was a British man. He kept his views forward that during the Hindu Muslim period in India, there was a caste system, there was a discrimination, superstitious beliefs. But when the British period started over there, he said that it was civilized period with the development of arts, law and institution. He also said that if they conquer whole of India, it will be a civilized India with a development. But as a common man, during that period, if we say, as an Indian, a common man, if we say that during that period how it was, a different opinion will come. As they considered this period as a dominated period, we were dominated, isn't it? And it was very tough life for a common man during that period. But according to him, he is saying that it was a civilized period. But as a common man, if we say, if we are speaking about that period, that colonial period, the British period, will definitely say that was a dominated period and it was a very tough period for a common man to exist, to have a life over there. But this was the just a views of James Mill after the division of the periods or the sections of Indian history in his book. He has explained it in this form. But each and everyone is having a different opinion. Even now historians will come with a different opinion. This is a James Mill opinion. Now we'll discuss about the historians' events or the historians' opinion. So we have seen that how the James Miller has divided the Indian history into three sections like Hindu, Muslim and Britishers. In the same manner, another classification of Indian history as per the historians, they have usually divided the Indian history into ancient, medieval and modern. Modern India was the India that talked about equality, fraternity and freedom and so on. According to the Britishers, now this we are talking about the historians, they are saying that the modern India, the modernized period was the period when the Indians have enjoyed the equality, fraternity and freedom. But this topic was totally neglected by ancient and the medieval period. However, if we see that the colonial period was a period where there was no freedom, equality, isn't it? All Nawabs of Indians were under the control of Britishers. Yes. When we talk about the Britishers, how do we know them? We always say that they were highly civilized group of people and they were superior than Indians. But they have never given us the freedom and the equality. But many historians refers that British rule period as a colonial because in this rule people did not have any equality, freedom or liberty. There was no economic growth and progress. But still they are saying that the modern period was the period where the Indians have enjoyed the equality, freedom and liberty, which was a period of colonial rule, according to the Britishers. But here the historians are saying that no, Indians have not enjoyed the equality, freedom and liberty. Instead, they were under the control of the Britishers. All the Nawabs were under the control of the Britishers. So in this way they have divided and they have started studying about the history of Indians, that how Indians were in the ancient period, how Indians were enjoying during the medieval period, how Indians were enjoying during the modern period. So in the section wise they are studying why the things have happened. Now from the very beginning we are talking about the colonial. Now what is colonial? A powerful country coming towards a low powerful country and dominating that country is called as colonialization. That is nothing but the Britishers, what the Britishers were doing. The Britishers are the powerful country, the European countries were the powerful country, they came to the India in order to dominate us and we were the less powerful country, so we were under the colonial rule. Colonial rule is nothing but under the rule of a powerful country. So these Britishers, they came and they conquered India in order to establish their rule and subjugating the local Nawabs. Subjugating is nothing but dominating the local Nawabs and Rajas. Britishers, they came over here in order to establish the control over the economy. They started collecting the taxes over here. So why they started collecting the taxes? Here they started living. They have to feed their soldiers. From where they are going to buy the products? They need money. In order to need fulfill the needs of the money, they started collecting the taxes from us. We are paying the taxes so that they can feed their soldiers. Then they bought the goods, whatever they wanted at the low prices. They started buying the goods from Indians on the low prices and they even started controlling the crops, like whatever is demanded by the European countries only should be produced by the Indians, not what is wanted by the Indians. What exactly are the demand that by the European countries only those products should be produced by the Indians and that should be exported to the European countries. So in this way they started having a complete control on India. British rule brought about its values and tastes, customs and practices. Now when the Britishers they started staying over there in India, they the values of whatever the taste, the food, the taste, the values, the customs, all these things were practiced. See, when the European countries they started living over here, we started looking at them and started wanted to copy them, their dressing style and their customs, their way of speaking, all these things we started taking those values inside us in order to show ourselves to be a superior one. When the subjugation of one country by another leads to this kind of political, economical, and social and cultural changes, we refer to this process as colonialization. When this domination country, when the one powerful country comes to the lowest powerful country and started dominating them, and in order to change the complete economic culture of that country, political culture of that country, social culture of that country, and completely controlling the economy of that country is called as colonialization. So we always talk about the events that have been taken place during the period of British in India, that we were suffering, we were dominated, we were not happy under the rule of Britishers. How do we come to know about this? How the historians got to know about this? How they were writing under their books regarding this? How they were able to divide the Indian period into three? From where they got this knowledge? It is nothing but during that period, during the British period, there was a system of writing the records, and these records was called as an official records. This was written as a diaries and memos, like how we people write the day to day happening. In the same way, the official records were made, and these official records were made by some certain administrative bodies which were appointed by the Britishers, and these administrative bodies they write the records in one room which was called as a record room, and it can be a local bodies or some other person or some official person which has been adopted in order to write those records, but it has to be maintained under the record room in a written form. Those written records, with the help of those written records, the historians got to know about the happening of the history. Rather than just knowing the dates, they got to know that why the things have happened. So just with the written records, the Britishers have set up the record room attached to the administrative institution, as they felt that all the important documents and letters needed to be carefully preserved, and all these letters and the documents which were written by these administrative bodies were carefully preserved, and which was after the rule of Britishers, this was under the hands of these historians, so that they got to know that why the things have happened rather than to know when the things have happened. So, with the help of those official records, the historians even got to know that the surveys became very important during that period. Now, what is surveys? Examining the things in a very detailed form, looking very carefully for each and everything, whether it is a land, whether it is regarding the counting of the people, the population, or regarding any map, any area. So, surveys was very carefully done by the Britishers. Through that official records only they got to know that how the surveys were done. So one by one we'll discuss. The Britishers believed that the country had to be properly known. So when the Britishers they came to India, they said that first we should have a survey. We should have a detailed examining this country in order to have a good production over here. In order to have a good colonial administration over here, we have to first practice a survey of this place to know how the place is, which place has to be adopted for the cropping, which place has to be adopted for the production. So in this way they started that first the detailed survey should be done about this country. So by early 19th century a detailed survey were being carried out by the map of the entire country. So with the help of the map they were doing a survey of the entire country. In the villages, revenue surveys were done. Revenue services from where the taxes can be collected. Those surveys were done. Then, with the help of topography, topography is nothing but the maps. Like how right now we have a Google that location survey. In the same manner, the topographical survey was done, that latitude, altitude, and in that way they used to find out the place, and topographically they used to find out the place. In that place they used to collect the revenues out of that places. Then they even had a survey of the soil quality, the flora, the fauna, and even the cropping patterns that can be adopted in this land. If the multiple cropping can be done, then they have to order for a multiple cropping. If the single crop can be grown only for a year, then they'll only ask to grow the single crop over that land pattern. So in that way, even the cropping pattern was surveyed, soil quality was surveyed. So from end of the 19th century, the census operations were held in order to know that what kind of a surveys were done. So they have even find out that they have even surveyed about the number of the people, how many people are there in which village. Even the population surveys was done first by the Britishers, and the other surveys like the zoological survey, how many animals, the plants are there. Archaeological surveys were done, like how many kind of buildings or what con. See, like we are having archaeological survey for a good example. Like we are having in Delhi, many of the monuments that have been made by the Britishers. All those archaeological surveys were done, and the forest surveys was done. How many trees are there, or how many trees can be utilized by us in order to make certain things, because many of the wood was even supplied by the European countries from here. Many of the forest was completely destroyed by the Britishers. So all these surveys was done by the Britishers first. So surveys became very important during that period in order to examine our country, carefully examining the country about what all they can be done, what all production can be done with this country. So we have seen that how the historians got to know about the Indian history through the official records. But there was one drawback in the official record, because these official records were written by the Britishers, and whatever was written in the official record were the views of the Britishers. And with this official records, we cannot tell that how the people were suffering during that period, isn't it? Because the official record will definitely not write the views of the Indian people. They will only write the views of their own way, the what things they were doing. They were doing the surveys, they were administrating the country, they were looking after the population, everything. We got to know that how these people were ruling India, but we have not got to know that how the people were suffering in India through the official records. So in order to look these things, in order to know how the people felt during that period, we should not look for a official record, rather than we should look in a unofficial records. Now what are unofficial records? Unofficial records are the diaries of the people, accounts of pilgrim and travelers, autobiographies of the important personalities during that period. If anyone has written the autobiography of any of the person, then the popular booklets in the local bazaars, newspapers or during that period, written ideas of the leaders and the reformers, then the written records of the poets and novelists. During that period we used to write our views in the form of songs, in the form of novels, or in the form of stories, or in the form of plays, autobiographies, newspapers. Because during that period, whatever was happening, or the if anything has happened, it must have come in the newspaper. So during that period, the newspapers, they have gone through with the newspapers, and then they got to know that yes, the people were suffering during that period. So in order to know the suffering of the people, we should look after the unofficial record. But if we want to know the development was made by the Britishers during that period in India, what all things they have made, then for that we have to see the official records. For the development, official; for the sufferings, unofficial. So in that way, the historians, they have divided the records, and they started knowing why and when the things started happening. So as we have seen that official records are actually written by the British officials, the administrative bodies. So whatever has been written in that official records are the viewpoints of the Britishers, and we'll get to know only regarding the viewpoints of the Britishers. But if we really want to know the sufferings of the Indian people during that period, for that we have to see the unofficial records. And we have seen the list of the unofficial records like the diaries or the novels or any autobiographies that has been written by any person, or any of the poem or the plays or the newspaper, through which we can know the suffering of the people through the unofficial records. But there are certain limitations even under the unofficial records, because through the unofficial records we can only know about the people suffering, those who are literates, those who are educated. Only those people will write the unofficial records. But what about the people who are uneducated? How do we come to know about them, about their experience, about their sufferings? They are not educated, so they have not written any unofficial record. So we don't know about the uneducated people, like the tribal people, the peasants, workers, those who are working in the mines, the poor on the streets. How do we come to know? How the historians will come to know about their sufferings and experience? So this was the limitation under unofficial record.